Hello everybody, this is Loveless John. I'll be coughing and sneezing once in a while in this video. I just got done eating, and I cough and sneeze a lot after I get done eating because I have food allergies. So, today is not an unboxing. Not an unboxing. I'm gonna tell you this. This video will have vulgar words in it, meaning cursing and all that stuff. A lot. And I will be talking about things not to say in Kansas. Yes, I'm originally from Kansas. Almost 3 years ago, I moved from Kansas to South Carolina. And I've been noticing, I'm not racist or anything. I'm not. I was taught not to be, but there will be, I won't say any racist words, but I will tell you stuff not to say in Kansas, which involves racist slurs. And I know black people a lot say bitch to each other and say the N-word to each other, and Kansas, that's a no-no. I'll give you examples of what not to do in Kansas, even if you're smoking a cigarette. And I'll tell you how Kansas is very much different than South Carolina and the US of A. That's what I'm talking about today. And stuff that frustrates me that the Southerners do here, including how they drive crazy and have really bad road rage. I will tell you the experience of road rage I experienced yesterday. First of all, we'll talk about differences between South Carolina and Kansas. And we'll also tell you about not all Kansans have a hillbilly accent. Hillbilly accents are false. Not everybody in Kansas has them. I have a neutral accent, unless I do my voices that I don't realize I'm doing when I'm having regular speech. Because when I was a little kid, I had no friends, so I played by myself and did cartoon voices, other accents and stuff to entertain myself with my toys. So, so sometimes that mixes with my regular speech. So we will talk about the Amish community, and that, sorry to say, the stuff you learned about Kansas from Hollywood is all myth. I'll start this off. I'll tell you this off straight. I got asked this when I first moved down here. People asked me, since I'm from Kansas, is it true that family members literally fuck each other? And I said, no. No. That's a big no-no in Kansas. I frown upon it. I do. Kansas frown upon it, and they teach you. And you know how some parents let their female child and their male child stay in the same room, share the same room. That is not, Kansas don't allow that to happen. They let their children have their own separate rooms. And I notice a lot of Southerners let their different gendered children stay in the same room, which is a no-no. Now, how people got that idea that Kansas relatives fuck each other is from movies. Yes, movies of Hollywood. Comedies that talk about that happening and have incestual children. But it does happen in Kansas back in the way old days. It did. Not no more, but I do have 3 aunts who are still living whose parents were cousins. No joke. That was way back in the old days. So, let's just say, where they got that from Hollywood is from the Amish community. There's an Amish community near Hutchinson, Kansas, and Hutchinson, Kansas is right in the middle of Kansas, dead center. Some Amish communities allow cousins and siblings to intermarriage stuff, marry each other and stuff. Don't know why, but that's where Hollywood got that shit. Now, if you're gonna visit Kansas, know this. Unlike the South, where you can burn trash. You can burn trash like in your backyard in the South, like here in South Carolina. You can have a burn pile and burn trash, wood and stuff. In Kansas, it's illegal to. You have to take all your trash to the dump, even your limbs to the dump, any limbs from your trees to the dump. There's a burn ban law where you cannot burn anything. Why is that? That is because Kansas has really, really harsh winters and harsh summers. They have a dry heat that's different than a South Carolina heat. The South Carolina heat is muggy and humid, while Kansas is just dry to the bone and excruciating. I mean, I remember one year I got 130 degrees in Kansas, no joke. So yeah, that was when I was little. So Kansas can have like 4 or 5 ice storms in a year. Yes, they have tornadoes. And I remember one year we had 3 ice storms in 1 year. And because of those ice storms, it's dry as hell. And they have crazy weather there where they've had hail this big. So the reason why you can't burn anything is because it's so dry there. And here's an example. They have news bulletins every year warning of fire danger. Like, Kansas will have something on the news saying, do not throw your cigarettes out the window. Don't let anything flammable sit outside. And they will tell you about the dry index of fire danger. It is illegal no joke, illegal to throw a cigarette out the window. Because before we left, someone did that. And a fire clear from Oklahoma went up to Wichita, Kansas. And I remember that year when we were about to move in Hutchinson, Kansas. And like I said, Wichita is not that far from Hutchinson, Kansas. Saw ashes coming from the sky. So you will, if they find out you did that, you will be prosecuted and put in jail for arson. That's how terrible it is, dry it is there, that it's illegal to throw a cigarette out the window. So if you're going to visit Kansas and you're from another state, you need to learn this stuff. Or if you're from the UK or Japan and you're going to visit Kansas, just to go there and like visit Kansas. Know this. Throwing a cigarette out the window is illegal. There's a burn ban law where you can't burn anything. Also, you cannot fire off fireworks all year round. Why? Because Kansas is so dry that it catches stuff on fire, the grass, everything. When they have a fire warning on the news, they will not allow anybody to fire fireworks in Kansas. They will only let the Kansas State Fair do it. So everybody who wants to see fireworks will have to park at a certain area in the Kansas State Fair grounds and watch them shoot off the illegal fireworks. Only the legal ones is the really big motherfucking ones. Now, the big motherfucking ones are illegal here in South Carolina, but in Kansas, they're very illegal because how dry Kansas is, and only the state fair is allowed to shoot them off because they have professionals who know what they're fucking doing, and not regular people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. So, if you're going to go to Kansas, you need to research, during the 4th of July, you need to research what fireworks are illegal. And you got to watch the news to know if there's a fire warning and they say you can't shoot off fireworks. So, that too. So, they never caught the person who threw that cigarette out the window, and the fire started in Oklahoma and went clear up to Wichita, Kansas, and Bueller, and other places. Yes, there's a county in Kansas called Bueller. Now, Hutchinson, Kansas is right smack in the dab in the middle. And there's another town that's just a short cross over the bridge from it. That is South Hutchinson. South Hutchinson and Hutchinson are different towns. And the people that live there call Hutchinson Hutch for short, and call South Hutchinson South Hutch. Now we'll talk about comparing vulgar words that you should not say in Kansas that the Southerners do here. Okay, I never started saying bitch to people or at all, but I do it to my computer if I'm watching something. I'll say, hey, I say, bitch, don't do that. I don't do that ever to people in public, not even since I moved here. Number one, if you're a woman or a man, you do not say bitch. If you're from the South and you visit Kansas and you say bitch, please, that's an insult to a Kansan. You do not say that shit because those are fighting words. You'll get in a fight with someone there. Now, any form of racial slur, like the N-word, is will or the Mexican one for Mexicans, Asians, any kind of race. You will get shot or beat the fuck up in Kansas. Now here, black people say bitch to each other. They say the N here in South Carolina. They say bitch to each other. They say the N-word to each other. Where in Kansas, those are fighting words and you'll get shot and stabbed or beat up. You do not say that to a black person. You do not say that to a white person. You don't, sorry about that, that's my phone. You don't say that to any person in Kansas. You don't say bitch to them. You don't call them a bitch. You don't call them the N-word or any form of racial slur. And first time I heard a black person say that to another black person, I gaped at them in public and they looked at me weird when I first moved here to the South. Because in Kansas, black people don't even say that to each other because they know those are fighting words and it'll start a fight. And they'll literally beat the shit out of each other. So even if I just saw a TV show say this, a black person say this to a white person, saying, white bitch, get off my lawn. Well, if you say that to someone in Kansas, to a white person, like the Southerners say stuff like that here, South Carolinians, black people, if you say that to someone in Kansas, expect to get shot or the shit knocked out of you. You'll get the shit knocked out of you. So, yeah. It's a no-no. Kansas is way different than South Carolina. South Carolina has taller trees and more beautiful and green trees, and the grass is greener. There's no stickers in South Carolina. What are stickers? Stickers are little plants with spikes on them. They have they're round and they got spikes on them. And you walk on them, they get stuck to your feet and poke your feet and make you bleed. Here, you can walk in your grass and not. Here in South Carolina, you can walk in your grass and not get stickers on your feet. If you're from the South and you want to visit Kansas, know this, if you want to go outside and walk, you gotta wear your shoes. Because Kansas has stickers everywhere you go in any form of grass. If you walk barefoot in grass in Kansas, expect you to get your feet impaled by stickers. every which way you go. So you gotta wear shoes. And I've seen people in South Carolina walk barefoot in grass. Walking barefoot in grass is a no-no. Children in Kansas are taught always wear your shoes when you go outside. Because of that, and also because dumbasses want to throw balls and shit out the window, and you get broken glass in your yard. So, and Kansas has hardly any entertainment, hardly anything, and let me just tell you, Hutchinson, Kansas right now has been rated #1 in places not to visit. Why? The crime is so bad. Crime is so bad. The drug shit, the illegal drug problem is bad. Booze, even alcoholics is bad. And a lot of teenagers and stuff get into drugs and drinking because there's nothing to do in Kansas. All there is in Hutchinson, Kansas is like a mall that's going downhill. That hardly has anything in it, and all they got is restaurants there. Hutchinson, Kansas was founded by old folks community, and so is South Hutchinson. So practically the old folks run it, and they don't want to put anything new or entertaining in there. So kids raised there are fucking bored as shit, so they turn to drugs and boozing it up and everything. While here in the South, they got lots of entertainment, lots of places you can go, and they have more programs for the mentally ill, for the disabled, where in Kansas, they're cutting back on that stuff. They're taking shit away. There's not much to do for the disabled or the mentally ill. And I notice here in the South, they actually want to help you with your mental illness. They want to help you. They don't just want to drug your ass up with medicine. Unlike in Kansas, they just pile on the medications until you fucking die from it. For my PTSD and stuff, I used to be on 20 different medications before I moved here to the South. And when I moved here to the South, the doctors saw how much medicine I was on and said in a year, if I hadn't moved, I would have died from an overdose from Kansas piling on the medication. So practically moving to South Carolina saved my life. And my doctors here got me straightened out with my depression and PTSD and stuff. So I feel much better moving here, and moving here saved my life. So yeah. I mentioned the things not to do when you go to Kansas with racial stuff. And I've only say bitch. I call someone bitch or something like that when I'm watching a TV show, and like I'm mainly mocking the characters is what I'm saying that stuff. I don't say it to people in public. Another difference between Hutchinson, Kansas, and South Carolina. South Carolina, there is churches on every corner you go to. Certain places you go to, every corner. Where in Hutchinson, Kansas, there's a bar on almost every corner that you can go into, and there's only a few churches. So there's more. So it's pretty much different here. Like pretty much different here in the South. And I was surprised that the people were nice here. The people are very hateful. Some of them are in Kansas. They're very rude, mean, slam the door in your face. But I was taught that you should hold the door no matter how old the person is, no matter their gender, no matter if the child. You hold the door for them and let them go first. Well, some Kansans aren't taught like that, but the reason why I was taught that is because my mom is really old school and all that. Now, things I've noticed in the South, during hurricane season. People go ape shit in the store to buy water and stuff, to stock up and food and stuff when there's a hurricane coming like there is now Hurricane Dorian, where in Kansas it's different. They have tornadoes, and not everybody in Kansas has a shelter or has a basement to go into. So what they tell you to do on the news in Kansas is to go like into your bathroom, sit in the bathroom. If it doesn't have a window and stuff, you go in your bathroom, you put like something that's thick over you and just wait it out with your family, even with your dogs and stuff. Not everybody has a big enough tub or a big enough bathroom, so you can imagine it's fucking cramped. Like, I had a bathroom that was just as big as my bed. And my bed, when I used to live alone, and this bed isn't very big. It's like a full size. um, so that's how much different Kansas is. I'm trying to think of what else you shouldn't do when you go to Kansas. And I'm trying to think. I had so much on my mind earlier that I went kaput. Give me a little bit. Covered the racial slurs. I covered cigarette stuff. Um, I'm trying to think. Sorry, I'm having brain farts like crazy. It's because I had a migraine last night, and I finally got over it, so I'm still not thinking good. Oh, fuck. Um, um, shit. I'm trying to think. What else? It's hard remembering everything. Um, there's a really good place to go to eat in, Kansas that you gotta go. It's in Yoder, Kansas. And Yoder, Kansas is a short drive from, Hutchinson, Kansas. And there's a place called Carriage Crossing. And it has cinnamon rolls, homemade cinnamon rolls that are like this big around. No joke. And those are the best cinnamon rolls you could ever eat. And when I visited Kansas, I never got to eat one because they're always sold out. Yeah, they're always sold out. That's how good they are. They're always sold out. And my mom bought one and ate one, but I never got to eat one when I was there. And right across from Carriage Crossing, there's a souvenir shop where you can buy stuff that the Amish community in Yoder made, like beef jerky, candles, all sorts of shit. And it is kind of expensive, but let me tell you, I bought some beef jerky sticks there that were really, 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 really good, and that's the first time I had Amish beef jerky. You can even buy lamb there to eat. It's like lamb meat. They have lamb jerky, elk meat, elk jerky. Yeah, they have all that there, and they have homemade cheese, baked goods. And Carriage Crossing even has a souvenir shop on the inside of it. There's an upstairs. There's like a stairs that's by the door, and it has a chain across it, and you're not allowed to go up there. So you can't go up there. So don't let your children, if you go there to eat, don't let your children go up there. And I would advise you, if you go to Kansas, do not leave your children unattended, because yes, like every state, there are criminals. And like right now, Hutchinson, Kansas is #1 in not visiting because of the crime. Especially the predator crime, any kind of predator, gun violence, any kind of violence, like criminal violence. So, you go there, visit, keep your children by you. Do not leave them unattended. Make sure you're always with them if you have children. Here's the thing. Here's another thing I noticed about the Southerners. That's different from Kansas. In Kansas, some drivers, if you walk in front of them, they will stop for you and let you and your children go across the street. Wherein some of them, not all drivers, but in the South, they will just mow your ass over. They don't care. They'll hit you. Like, I saved my mom from getting hit once. This guy looked like I'm gonna go anyways on his face and just almost ran her over. And the Southerners drive fucking crazy here. Like, they drive crazier than people in Wichita, Kansas. People in South Carolina take the cake in crazy driving and road rage. Like yesterday, Dad accidentally didn't mean to cut someone off, and this guy rolled down his window and was chewing my dad out, flipping him off and everything, and saying, why don't you pull over? And we duke it out on the side of the road. And Dad's like, my dad just ignored that comment. And the guy kept saying, I was in the right, you're in the wrong. Dad said, whatever makes you feel good. And Dad rolled up the window. And that guy's wife all the time was trying to push him back from lunging out of the car. And this guy was driving while he was having this road rage issue. So, yeah. So right now we're preparing for Hurricane Dorian. We live in an evacuation route, so we're just gonna wait it out. We don't have a generator either, so if we lose a power, we'll just deal with it, because we're used to it. Like Kansas, you can lose power a lot during like ice storms and like when a tornado hits. So we're used to it. We know what to do when you have no power and stuff. But my dad's gonna buy a generator next year. So that's what we're preparing for, and there's gonna be more unboxings in the future. I'm waiting for something to arrive, and I'm gonna order something else because I'm almost up to. I'm checking on my phone real quick. On OnGo surveys, I am almost up past $10 to be able to check out and like to be able to get a gift card. Checking if it's almost done. I got a survey that's pending that's $2, and I got like $9.90 right now. And I got a survey that's pending that's $2 to add on top of that. that I answered truthfully, and I think the reason why it hasn't finished pending, even though I waited like 3 days, is because it's Labor Day. Yeah, I'm gonna talk like this is a video about stuff you shouldn't do when you visit Kansas. Like, do not say the N-word. Do not say anything like that. No racial slurs unless you want to get stabbed, shot, or the shit knocked out of you. Don't say bitch to any Kansas like saying, really, bitch? Don't say that. I pretty much watch my mouth if I were you, if you're going to visit people in Kansas. Watch your mouth. Even if you're from the UK, Japan, any place in the world, watch your mouth if you're a cusser. Or if you say racial slurs on a daily basis. Like if you're from Georgia and you say that stuff. And if you're from South Carolina and you want to take a vacation to my hometown of Hutchinson, Kansas, watch your mouth. And do not throw a cigarette out the fucking window. Do not do that. Because Kansas is a fire risk because how dry it is. The grass is at a risk for the trees. So if you throw a cigarette out the window, it's illegal. And it's illegal for a reason. You'll get fined. And if they find out your cigarette started a fire, they will arrest you and keep you there for arson. And probably keep you there for many, 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 many years. I don't know. So, and also, research what fireworks are illegal there if you're gonna visit there and you want to spend 4th of July with a friend from Kansas or family members, or if you just want to go to Kansas because you want to tour there or something like you want to vacation there. Research, like I said, what fireworks are illegal, and like I said, the big motherfucking ones, you can't even fire them off. You can't. Just real little stuff. Now, if they have, like I said, a news bulletin where they have fire warning all over in Kansas, they will say you cannot fire fireworks. They will tell you cannot throw your cigarette out the window at all. So watch what you're doing. They'll say that on the news. Sorry, my nose itches real bad today. Now, one thing to ask a Kansan is, is it true that Kansas siblings or family members fuck each other? That is something you should not ask, because that's Hollywood myth and just comedy bullshit. Except for my aunt's mom and dad were cousins. Yes, that was a long time ago. And it's still frowned upon until this day. It was frowned upon in her day when she was born. It was frowned upon. Still frowned upon, but the Amish, pretty much, that's where the Amish in Kansas, that's where the Hollywood crap about family members doinking each other, which means sex, doinking each other, came from was the Amish, because some Amish communities, not saying not all of them, they allowed cousins to marry and family members to marry each other and have children with each other. And you can imagine that can cause them to have health issues and stuff. Now, another thing you should be warned about is when you're going to Kansas, like Hutchinson, Kansas, and go through Yoder, the Amish do travel through horse and buggy on certain occasions. in Hutchinson and South Hutchinson, because South Hutchinson and Hutchinson are very short ride away from their community, and they do have probably have family members that at a certain age chose not to be Amish anymore and live in Hutch or South Hutch. Because you can choose whether you want to, at a certain age, if you want to still be Amish and go follow the Amish tradition or leave. And some of them still visit their family members that choose to do that. So, they also ride in big green tractors, which have like trailers hooked at the back of them where they sit and everything, where their children or whoever can sit in the back. So you got to be careful because you got to be careful. No, when you go around them, well, you can't go around them. Passing someone on the highway is like a town street or stuff isn't allowed in Kansas. It's not like the South where you can do that here, like where people pass each other a lot while you're driving to another town in in South Carolina. It's not allowed because unlike here they have 4 lanes in the South. Kansas only has like just 1 lane. So passing is not allowed. U-turns are illegal. Like, we didn't know U-turns weren't legal in the South until we moved here to the South. So, in Kansas, they're illegal. You will get pulled over. And you'll be fined. If you speed, like they do here in South Carolina, if you go over the speed limit, expect to be pulled over in Kansas because the Hutchinson cops and the South Hutchinson cops are really strict. They're really strict. And if you're a speeder, expect to get tickets all over Kansas if you like fucking speed. Now, if you visit Kansas and you find yourself behind a tractor or a buggy, you have to wait until they like turn down something and like turn or something. You have to go slow and like drive slow behind them. You can't pass them. So it'll be like irritating. And in Hutchinson, Kansas, South Hutchinson, there are trains. And expect you to probably sit for an hour or so waiting for a train to go by because they have long ass trains that pretty much ship stuff everywhere that go through there. So you have to sit there about an hour or so. Maybe not. Depends on how long the train is. Last time I remember sitting at a train thing for an hour and I was bored out of my mind. So yeah, expect trains, and you cannot go over the train tracks when the things are down at all. You can't go slip past. It's illegal. And if a cop catches you, you will be fined. You'll be given a ticket and fined, and you will have to go to court there. Um, Now, those are differences between South Carolina and Hutchinson, Kansas, and South Hutchinson. There is a place in the Hutchinson Mall that I recommend you going to get like they have retro games. They have games for all consoles there. Um, um, they have movies, like even seasons like Smallville and stuff there that you can buy. That's a good place to go to buy retro games, movies, and stuff, and they're in good condition. I recommend if you visit Hutchinson, Kansas, go to the mall right away and buy retro games. They even have Pokemon cards you can buy there, or Magic the Gathering cards are out. Last time I was there, they had some pretty rare Pokemon cards, single ones that you could buy for $2 something. So depending on the price, they have movies there for like $3 something. Any kind of movies. And if you want to buy a lot of like movies that you like if you want to buy Jason movies, like old ones and stuff like Jason X, like all that stuff, go there, buy up a couple of them, like the old Jason movies and everything. And like if you want a season of anime, they even had anime. You can buy a season of anime there. Like um, they even have anime I never even heard of until I went there. You can buy some there, but all that stuff is all used. So be expecting that, but you can buy Pokemon cards. You can buy almost. You can buy anime posters. You can buy gaming posters, Funko Pops, game systems, um, action figures, like anime stuff. You can go there. It's called Game On, and it's a really good place to go if you want to get stuff like that. That's the only place I like there. It's the only place I liked there, to be honest, because there was nothing to do. There was nothing to fucking do in Kansas when I visited there, and there was never anything to do when we lived there. So pretty much mostly kids and teenagers. Some teenagers either cure their boredom, go drinking or drugging. Some kids either stay at home and play on their video games because there's nothing to do, no entertainment. So, the examples of the trees. Kansas has shorter trees than South Carolina. They're smaller, and some of them are dead year round. Some they're not as beautiful, even the grass. So, unlike here in the South, the grass is green, the trees are taller and more healthier, beautifuler. And I just gotta remind you, if you go to Kansas and you're from the South or some other state that don't have stickers in the grass, know this: when you go to Kansas, if you want to walk outside, you have to have shoes and socks on, because there are stickers everywhere you go, anywhere in the country, in the towns and everything. And your feet will get impaled by stickers, many of them, if you don't wear socks or shoes. So don't go barefoot in Kansas. Don't go barefoot. There's even fire ants. They're this big. Where here in the South, they're tiny. The ones that are this big in Kansas have fat bodies and big ass heads. So yeah, like you can see a big ass hill like this by a train track. And let me just tell you, don't go near them. If you see them by a train track, don't go near them. Because if you piss them off, they'll all come after you and bite you. Those fire ants in Kansas are more deadly than the ones in the South. They are. They're a species more deadly. Their bite, if a lot of them bite you, and they can make you sick. That's pretty much it. If you want to visit Kansas, be expecting you will be bored out of your mind unless you go to museums and stuff. There's a place called the Cosmosphere you can go to that has stuff about space, and it's a good place to go. But expecting gift shop is expensive. Then there's a salt museum you can go to in Hutchinson. That's all in Hutchinson. The Hutchinson Zoo, it's really a tiny zoo, like a short walk. That's how tiny it is. It's not, and the zoo there is more, it's like a short walk to even explore it. Way tinier than the South Carolina Zoo, like much more tinier. Imagine this, how small it is. Compared to, this. Trying to figure out. Compare, example. Example is this pillow. This pillow, this long ass pillow is a South Carolina Zoo. And this is a Hutchinson Zoo. That's how tiny it is. That's the example. Like I said, it'll take you just, when you're in the Hutchinson Zoo, it'll only take you 10 minutes to explore it. Like, maybe not even 10, because it's like a short ass walk. And all. They have a park there. They have a park that's by the Hutchinson, that the Hutchinson Zoo is inside of, called Kerry Park. And all year round there are geese there that come from all over. Canadian geese, regular ducks, some other ducks. You can feed them bread. But don't feed them by hand. You just throw it at them because they'll bite you. They have Salt City Splash, which is a swim park you can go to. Salt City Splash. But it's only open during the summer because Kansas has frigid winters and stuff. So if you're going to visit Kansas in the winter, be open to ice storms happening. And when the ice storms happen, be prepared that 12 inches of ice will be on the ground and on the trees. And do not park your car under a tree or they will get fucked up. When after the ice storm happens, the news will even tell you after an ice storm, if you have trees around you, do not go outside because when they start melting, they'll snap. If an ice storm happens, stay inside and you have to wait until everything melts and everything to go outside because you will slip and fall everywhere. There are people in Kansas that go to work driving in that ice to go to work. And unlike South Carolina, when it snows here, ever snows, or if an ice storm happens here, they shut everything down. Kansas, they don't do that. They don't do that at all. Like, when ice storm happened, and it was after the ice storm happened and everything was iced over, 12 inches of ice and stuff, when I went to school, they didn't shut the schools down. We had to walk in that shit to get to the school. And when I hear a Southerner say, it's cold in here, it's cold, when it's like fall or something, I look at them, I'm like, seriously, you don't know what cold is until you've lived in Kansas in the winter. when we've had an ice storm where it's 0 below. You don't know what fucking cold is. I would mutter to myself in public when someone said that last fall. I said, you don't know what cold is. You don't know what cold is. I mean, I'm still getting used to the heat here in the South after almost 3 years of living here. And I get hot easy. So when I'm in Walmart, I sweat a lot. Dripping sweat. Because they always keep their fucking Walmarts hot as hell. Even though they have the AC on. And I'm always sweltering. I wear black no matter what the weather, and I don't care. I love it. And I always wear long pants because I don't like wearing shorts or anything. I don't like dressing like how women dress. But like I said, people don't know what cold is until you've lived in Kansas for like almost 23 years. I know what cold is. These Southerners do not. Try having an ice storm happen and you lose power and have no heating, no water, no nothing for a week. And you freeze your ass off every fucking night. And the only thing keeping you warm is several blankets. Try that. I do make fun of Southerners here sometimes when they just like act like idiots. Yeah, act like idiots. I do make fun of them. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's just funny. And when they complain about how cold it is during the fall, it's not even cold to us people from Kansas. We laugh at them. And people look at us weird. Fucking looks we get. We always get asked this. We always get asked this. We always get asked this. How's Dorothy? First of all, not everybody in Kansas likes the fucking Wizard of Oz. Not everybody. I hate it. I hated that movie. So does my brother. God damn. That's the worst movie ever. Sorry to say, invented. I always they have that come on every fucking Christmas, and also whenever it's Kansas's birthday, the state's birthday, they have it on TV. They have it on Christmas. Whenever I saw it on TV, I was like, "Give me a fucking wall so I can bang my head against the wall." That's what I would say. Shut that shit off. I would be joking around, but I would be joking around. I wouldn't be serious. I'm really sorry I'm itching my nose a lot. It just really itches. It's one of those days. Yeah. Just gotta know things not to do and stuff in Kansas. Do not call a white person, white bitch. Yeah, you get your ass kicked. Not say, like I said, do not say racial slurs. You just gotta pretty much watch your mouth and stuff. You should, the stuff I mentioned. So this video is things different. Maybe how I will name it. Differences in Kansas and South Carolina. As I said, this video had cursing in it, so I just want people to know how different Kansas is compared to South Carolina. And things not to say when you visit Kansas. Okay, you just gotta know these things. And things not to do, like with the cigarettes and stuff. Kansas is a fire hazard state. That's why it's illegal to burn your trash or burn anything. And illegal to throw out the cigarette out the window because you can catch fields on fire. But I will have videos like this about that, and I will have videos talking about my day or me just ranting about shit, and maybe I will I don't know what else I want to do on this channel. My channel says gaming for a reason because I put it on gaming for a reason because in gaming you have to be respectful to other people. It says in the comment section, be respectful, be nice and respectful. That's what I want in this channel. Rules: no racial slurs, no bullying. No racial slurs, no bullying, be nice to each other, be kind to each other, and don't be assholes. And no trolling. I will report you if you troll, if you bully, if you even say any kind of racial slur or are an asshole. So I just want to let you guys know that's why my channel is gaming, because it says you have to be respectful. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Treat them with respect, and they will treat you back with respect. But I curse a lot, and I want you to know it's like second speech to me because I grew up with it. I learned it as a toddler, and I can't control it. So all my videos, yes, will have cursing in it. There will be more unboxings in the future. It might be a while before I have another unboxing because of this hurricane, and I'm waiting for something to come in the mail. And if you hear talking, that's my family talking to each other. I will end this video for now. I will do videos of me ranting about random shit because I'm a random person. I'm a random person. I will rant about anything. News, commercials, all sorts of shit. I will even do a video. My next video, I will tell you about if you're Fujoshi or Fudanshi, which you like Yaoi. I will recommend what Yaoi manga to read and what Yaoi novels to read. Next video, I will tell you about that. And what are the difference between Yaoi novels and manga? I will show you in the next video I'm going to do after this one. And there's one video I haven't uploaded yet because I just haven't been feeling good with my health, and I already made it and I haven't put it up. And also when I tried to upload it, my computer was acting wonky and it restarted itself while I was uploading, and it didn't go up yet. My computer does that once in a while. So I will see you guys later. Willis Chan out.